Okay, analytical essay, the actual written component that will be graded. We've had several kind of practice runs, a handful of little activities to help you, like I told you from the start, to program your brain thinking a different way. Most ways of programming, of reading and analyzing deals with more of just a summation and talking about it from a, you went and saw a movie. Tell your friend, you like the movie? Yeah. Why do you like it? And then you tell them all the fun things that happen. Okay? You just summarize it. Okay? What we want to work on is the analysis of how it got that response. You like the movie? You liked it because of this. I liked that the film record did this, or the script is this. I mean, then you're starting to break down the details. Okay, it's not so much what, it's how they said it. Okay, so that's what we're focusing on. So in the link that says like analytical essay, the directions and such, you'll see that your final draft is 2 to 3 pages in length. Okay, which is just a shade more than what we have been doing when we've been practicing. With all of these, dry runs, all of the little worksheet type things to help get in your brain thinking and programming in a certain way, this really is not a lot of words at all. You can see I think there are 7 different options. Some of them have links, some of them don't. They all did at one point, but some of the links broke. If you want to read those, you can find them out on Moodle as a PDF, and they should be directly below the analytical essay article options link that we're reading now. So you can see I think it's just one link, and then the rest are good. You can see there's quite a few. There's one called Black Like Me, but not too black. Too much pressure. Not all men are sly foxes. Everything isn't racial profiling. Some like it hot. Anti-intellectualism. Why we hate the smart kids. Safety through immigration control. What we're going to do is we're going to spend time reading these individually. We're not going to have discussions on them. My advice to you is read all of them. Okay, you want to find one, not just that you like the subject matter. Well, I liked it. I like talking about the race and stuff. Okay, fine. But remember, we're not doing an analysis on what they say. It's on how they said it. Okay, but simply reading something that you like the subject matter and the number of times you're going to have to go through it, it might be a little bit easier for you to stomach. Not just processing it, but having to read it over and over again. These are all pretty short. A couple of them may be a little bit longer than others, but as you see in skimming through them, they're not too laborious in length. So it should be pretty basic. So don't just read the title and get turned off to it. Just give it a try. If you start losing focus, okay, pay attention, try it again, and then if you lose it again, just move on to a different one. That one's not going to be for you. Think about what reaction you got from reading it. Okay? And then remember that reaction, because it is important. Because then you go, okay, that was my reaction. What did the author do in order to elicit that reaction from me? My advice to you is to go through those PowerPoints that we had. Pull up those slides. Remember the ethos, pathos, and logos? Okay? If you can, if you need to make a quick little refresher, just take a quick gander at those and go, okay, what emotional appeal? Maybe who the audience is. Another advice is I would pull up the worksheet that we use for the Stephen King, well, most recently the Danticamp piece. I would use that one. And look at those questions that it asks you. How do you identify the tone? How do you do this? Who's the audience? And blah, 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 blah. Go through each of those, okay, and apply it to this particular one. After today, you should know which article you want to do. If you have time between at the end of the period before we move on, start making a list, a mental checklist based on what we have been doing in those other activities. That should be very helpful for you. Okay. Take a quick gander at the rubric. The thing I want you to focus on is we have the normal writing traits, but notice the ideas is worth twice as much as the others. Okay? it's still important that you have proper grammar and your word choice and fluency and all of that's important, okay? But the main essence of this paper, the analytical responses, are your ideas, okay? Your opinions on why they wrote the way that they did. And so that's why there's an extra emphasis and the ideas count twice what any other column does. So keep an eye on that as a focal point. Don't just take a 1 or 2 on this and I'll just work really hard on my word choice, blah, blah. Well, this is worth multiple categories. So just keep that in mind. Notice the wording in the rubric between 2s and 3s and 3s and 4s. They're very similar to what somebody grab that please. They're very similar to what the previous rubrics were like. The wording we try to keep pretty much the same with some minor tweaks here and there, so that we don't confuse, not necessarily confuse you, but that you get used to them. Okay, the more comfortable you get with them, the better you should the better you should do from each advancing piece of work. So terminology should be very helpful and beneficial for you. Figure out which is the one that you have the strongest reaction to, but also which one can you break it apart. Which one is the most obvious in your opinion of, wow, look at how they're doing this, and look how they're using allusions here, and look at the metaphors here. Those things that you can start listing. Go back to those PowerPoints. Use them. They're there for resources. In the next few days, we're going to have little review PowerPoints on writing introductions and conclusions and the literary analyses basics. Even though we're not focusing on your literature books and things, this is still the same type of analysis and processing that you're used to. And so it's not to be a complete new instruction. We're not taking forever to talk about. It's just a little refresher. Let's just spend a couple minutes and boom, get that going again. Okay.